Alright, well, I'm currently want to show you how to make these membranes, or at least how I do it, and gonna make some tests at the same time. I created 2 pages with coils, as you can see. These are three coils. Because I want to test pleat depth and what it does especially in the high frequency department. Because if you go larger, like than 8 or 9 millimeter pleat depth, then it should hurt the high frequency response. And it also impacts the low frequency response, at least the resonance usually. So I'm gonna make the same membranes with different pleat depth. So this is the only factor, so we can see what happens. So this is 6 millimeters, 7, 8, and here I got another page with 8, 9, and 10, or 9, what is it? 9, 10, and 11, I think it was. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah. So I print these on aluminum tape. I showed you earlier, it's like a big roll, and I cut it like A4 paper size pieces out of it and clean it with acetone, because it has to be dirt free and especially grease free, because otherwise the ink won't stick. Still a problem, by the way, because I got some smears of some sort. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there is some. That's hard to see. There you see it. See the difference in color there? It's because I patched it up with regular permanent marker. Because it left some smears. I don't know. It didn't adhere, or what I think is how clean this cut is. So the edge. It's hard to see, but sometimes when I see this smears, then there is usually a tiny bit of ink left on this edge. So I think it scrapes to the drum where the wax is sprayed on, like just like a laser printer, really, but well, not exactly the same, of course, but it transfers first to the drum and then it transfers to the paper, or the aluminum foil in this case. So I think it scrapes alongside the drum and creates some scratches in the ink layer. So I have to be sure this edge is really, really clean cut before I push it in the printer next time. So I print these both. That's the other one. And well, that's the first step. Now we're going to the next step, getting it onto some Mylar and remove the backside, which is a pain in the ass. Okay, this is the next step. We got the membrane printed and all. Now we have to attach it to the Mylar. And I really don't like these steps at all, but I have to, because there's no way I can find 6 micron Mylar with 30 microns of aluminum attached to it, a laminate. Sounds like a drink. Yeah, so I have to make it myself. Now, we have to remove this backing paper, or release paper, and that's a quite annoying job, because, well, everyone knows how sticker works. Stickers maybe even, but double-sided tape, it's quite annoying to get this backing off. And I use a lighter because we can melt the foil a little bit, so I can get to the aluminum, so I don't have to pry my nails in between, and it should make it a little bit easier. A little bit, I'll say, because it's still quite annoying, but here we go. So you see, it's not very clean, but okay, I remove this. Not sure if I'm in the viewfinder because I can't see. Move this. Oh, I hate this. There we go. Now it's stuck to my hand. Okay, now I want to have this flat on this piece of HPL, so I can attach the Mylar to it. But of course we have a sticky side now, so I cannot use just the roller because it will stick to it, of course. I got a sponge here with some water and a little bit of dish soda. I'll use a little bit. It's kind of dirty as well, but I don't really care. It's an old sponge. So, of course, my camera stopped working because my iPhone was full. Because it's always full. Because I thought it would be enough to have 60 GB, which is of course not the case if you can only record movies in full HD and still look like shit, but they're at least huge. So if that's a benefit, then it worked. Okay, so the HPL is wet now, and now we need a way to use the roller. And what I do is use this roller for linoleum work, etching technique. I think it was used normally. You have bigger ones as well. They're quite nice. This is a cheap one, but even so, it works pretty well. So I should be able to roll it out. As you can see, there's a bubble here, which is not good. Should have wetted it a little bit more, so it seems. But oh well, it's not bad at all. So it's funny, it's acrylic resin used for adhesive, and if you make this a little bit wet, then it won't stick. But this stuff still sticks if your hand is not wet. So it's a really nice way to still be able to get it on this board without it sticking to everything. So now I get my Mylar frame. I was saying my Mylar frame. I use HPL again because I love this stuff. It's you can CNC it quite easily. It's not a really nice looking frame, but it does its job. I sprayed it with simple cheap spray glue and then lay it down on some Mylar foil. And as you can see, there are wrinkles because I just put it on there, pressed it and cut it out. And I do this because I use a heat gun to stretch it evenly and nicely without wrinkles, because you can do it by mechanically stretching, but it's just more work, and well, not looking for more work. Done. As you can see, it's nicely stretched now. Now we're gonna place it over the aluminum foil and gently pop it down. Now the thing is, we get a piece of toilet paper or any sort of soft paper. Okay, so now we can actually adhere it, but we have to start in the middle and then move outwards. I must say, I this is also kind of a annoying job to do because it's easy to screw up. Tiny bubble here and there, like there, it's no big deal, but we will pop it. I used the roller first to do this, but this actually works better. Okay, so it's stuck. We got these bubbles, one here and a tiny one there, and no big deal. I'm just gonna pop it, and then we should at least be able. Yes. So, and it's done. Now the only thing we have to do is lift it gently because it's stuck a little bit, and remove it. From the frame. There we go. One piece. And we're gonna cut them to size. And I do this before the etching because there's no need to etch aluminum foil that's not going to be used. It just makes the etch bath dirty. If it's dirty, it's not going to work as well. There we go. 3 membranes on 1 foil. Let's go etch. So, time to etch. And I use copper sulfate as it, or at least to etch, because I tried many different stuff, like sulfuric acid and I don't know, all kinds of acids, but it usually removes the wax from the aluminum as well, so it kind of does not work at all. For aluminum, this combination of copper sulfate and just normal kitchen salt works best for me. And there are ratios, but I'm just doing it on gut feeling because I'm not etching something special or something. I just need to remove the aluminum as fast as possible. Usually do the same amounts as salt as copper sulfate, but just by eyeballing it. But fuck. Of course I drop half of my salt on the table right now. It's table salt, so it's no problem. Let's see, I'll get my foil ready to go. Put it in the etching container. The most dirty one, of course. Get my hot water. Then I'll get my jar to mix it. One thing I did differently right now is I dumped my foil already in it. But usually when I pour in the hot water, I'll put the jar in this container because, well, it's not made for cooking or cooked water, this jar, so it might kind of break on me. So, looks delicious. Now we can put in the foil. Lay it flat. Pour it over. Oh yeah. And of course I have to say, yeah, you have to use gloves. Which I really do think you have to use. But apparently I'm not using one right now. So my hands will smell like, you know, the smell of iron, you know? If you just washed your sink or something with a sponge, then smell your hands. That's gonna happen. You're gonna smell like iron or metals. Well, you can, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but there's also not enough light here, but it is etching quite fast as well because of the heat and amount of copper sulfate I used. Just wiggle it around a little bit. Let's see. About the fumes, they're not as toxic as with other acids, so it's best to do in a ventilated place anyways, but mostly what you see right now is also the fact that the water is cooking temperature, so it's water vapor and some other stuff, which is still not the best to breathe in all day, but it's better than most chemicals used for etching. So. Okay. Well, now this is the part where you need gloves. Into the next container with water. I wash my hands right away. Now we're just gonna clean it up gently. I'm not gonna show you. Just use a brush of some sort. Clean off the brownish goo. Okay, there you go. It's partially clean. Use some paper towel to clean off the rest of the brown goo. And to dry it. Okay, done. Get your knives. We're gonna cut them in 3 pieces. Now they're still stuck to the table, and I leave it like this because I need to apply some tape on the top and bottom, and it's easier when they are still stuck to the table. Although in this case I might move them a little because otherwise I will be taping them together again. Like this. It's easier done when they're still wet because they don't move around. So I use this aluminum tape. It is used for, I think it's security on windows. So if you break a window, the tape will break and then it sets off the alarm. You can buy it at well, online. Most, I think Farnell has this as well. Okay, I'm gonna tape it like this. I'm making some nice shadows so you still can't see, but I mean, come on, it's not rocket science, this. This is another thing, I should have left these pieces on. I tell you why. I'll leave it on with this one. I'll just do one because the method is the same. Then I use some chalk for baby bottoms. And in this case for this foil. And why is because although the aluminum is gone, it etched away, there's still the acrylic adhesive that is gonna be a bitch when you're gonna fold it. Then everything will stuck to each other. So we're gonna rub it into the acrylic adhesive so it won't stick anymore. Sometimes it still does stick a little bit. Then I didn't rub it long enough. Just like this. I hate the fact that it's so damn messy. But well. Okay. There we go. Should be able to lift this now. There we go. Time to fold. And change my battery. Okay. So we got this first one ready for folding. And in this case, because it's a tiny membrane, and also because the conductors are almost as wide as the pleat depth. So the only lines that are here are the fold lines, which is the reason why it folds so easy, as you can see. Well, the first line, the bigger one, is going to be the one that the wire is going to be connected to. So this fold is going to be like this. Next one, the other way around. This is doable. If you got a bigger one, it's a bit harder to do nicely. Then you have to work from the inside. You fold it first here, and then move outwards to the aluminum tape, which gives the whole thing stability. Otherwise, it will be unwrapping into a straight piece again. And now it will stay in the folded shape. Feels quite good, this baby stuff. It smells as well. Not sure if I like it. Quite sweet. I wonder if people smell this when they say their baby smells so nice. Although I never encountered any of that. About the good smelling. I think of diapers and poo immediately, which not the best, I think. Ooh, almost done. Last one, the other connection point. Okay, and we have this. And now, hopefully, the powder did its work and it doesn't stuck, because if you didn't powder it, then it would be like one brick. Now we should be able to there you go. You can mold it a little bit. Getting it loosened up a bit. Wow. Ah, here we got a sticky one. Not really sticky, but slightly sticky. You can see moving it around a bit and pulling it out and putting it together again will make the fold cleaner and cleaner. Still not the best looking one, but it's quite okay. There you have it. So this would be a normal planar membrane. Now it became this. Way smaller. And the thing is, it does almost the same as this one. Except this one is not as wide as this one. This one is almost twice as wide. So this one has twice as good dispersion in the high end, which is nice. At least for my idea, because I want to make them not wide, but tall. Then you have good horizontal dispersion and very bad vertical dispersion, which is good in many cases. And of course you can control the horizontal dispersion. If you make them wider, tiny bit, dispersion is going to be less good. Or for some people like it, so well, then make them a little bit wider. You can put more folds in it if you want. Well, that's about it, about the folding, and well, hope you liked it. Bye bye.